Hi, folks. I'm Steve Adubato. We're in beautiful New Providence, New Jersey for the New Jersey Sharing Network 5K. We're honored to once again talk to our friend Chris Bautista. Chris Bautista is the chair of the New Jersey Sharing Network Foundation Board, and your son Luke Bautista, an organ donor and tissue donor. Tell us about Luke. Even though we've talked before, tell us about Luke and why he was such a special young man and the gift of life he gave to so many others.
Well, I like to tell people I didn't know that Luke's name meant bringer of light, but he brought that. Yeah, it does, and I didn't know that until he had passed. But he brought it. He brought it when he was alive, and he's bringing it now, you know, that he's deceased. And he would just light up every single room he walked into. It was a joy. We'd go food shopping. He's like, "What's next on the list?" And he'd run to other aisles to get it real quick. He'd be on a train and go over and talk to strangers. He was just one of those people that was super engaged with life and everything around him at all times. And he really, I mean, there wasn't a dull moment that we had while he was alive, and now even in his passing.
He was 15.
He was 15 years old. 2016 he passed.
Tell folks what happened.
Well, he was home alone, and you know, he was messing around with huffing, basically, and it went right into his brain stem. He passed out. His older brother, CJ, who was 17 at the time, found him a few minutes later and you know, saw that he was passed out, called 911, performed CPR, passed away a few days later in a hospital, and you know, then we were approached by the New Jersey Sharing Network about donating his organs.
What was your first reaction?
My first reaction, I was at work, it was panic, and I was on the phone with a state trooper who told me to drive as fast as I wanted to on Route 18, and my first reaction was just, I was inconsolable. You know, I remember it was a Thursday night, and I was laying on the waiting room floor, just crying my eyes out, not knowing what to do. The next morning, it was 8:35 a.m., we were told that his brain death test came back and that he wasn't going to be alive, and the Sharing Network approached us, told us about, you know, organ donation and what we could do. Next thing you know, I'm running around passing out these green bracelets, and I had something I could control. You know what I mean? You had that one moment, that one thing you control when everything else is spinning out of control. And we just decided at that point on, my family and I, just to make the best of the absolute worst situation.
Tell folks again, how many people were saved?
Yeah, Luke was able to save 5 people with his organs and improve the lives of 75 others through his tissue donations. You know, with the moment that we were told by a transplant coordinator from the New Jersey Sharing Network that his heart was going to go to a 14-year-old boy in New York, we were just like, you know, and she walked into the room and told us so calmly and didn't want to disturb us because we were still with Luke while he's being kept alive on the ventilator. And I looked at her and I said, the next time you come in with news like that, you better come in through the door and be excited about it, because this is good. We want to hear that kind of positivity right now more than anything. Again, you can't bring him back. You can't bring a loved one back. But if you can make a positive spin on it, or take a sad song and make it a little bit better, like the Beatles say, that's what we wanted to do. And so as soon as we had that to grasp onto, I ran with it and got so involved. We raised $86,000 at the first 5K with the Sharing
Hold on,
Network
let's get a couple numbers
year.
right.
Yeah.
You raised 86 grand, but you also raised, if I'm not mistaken, over 5 years, over 300 grand?
Yeah.
You're an advocate.
Oh, big time.
Because?
It means so much to so many people. So the first time I came to one of these events, the first person I met, I didn't know at the time, I was standing next to this young man. He was 22 years old. And at that time, he was a 10-year heart recipient. And then it was the first time I met somebody who was alive, or that I knew that had an organ transplant and was alive because of that. And it just became this like overwhelming feeling. I'm like, this is what my son has done for somebody else. This is what, you know, he was able to do in his passing. And you know, it really, you know, Luke's mom, Carla, always says it's mind-blowing, and it really is. It's mind-blowing to see someone else who's been saved by someone who's donated organs. And we've had a chance to meet a couple of Luke's recipients as well, yeah.
You got to tell us. What was that like?
Again, overwhelming, but beautiful, and such beautiful people. I will tell you real quick that the two people that we've met, we met Missy, who is Luke's pancreas recipient, and she has diabetes since before she was 10 years old. She had it for 30 years.
She had diabetes.
Diabetes. And
32 years.
She does not have diabetes anymore
because
of Luke's pancreas. She wakes up every morning now and she reaches over for her, insulin pump.
Right.
And she's like, oh, nope, Luke, I don't need it. So that's the first thing she thinks about in the morning. And it's, I think
that's Missy.
That's Missy. And then we also met Andre. Andre received Luke's left kidney. And the best story I could tell about Andre is that he and his wife, Erica, 4 months after they received, that he received Luke's left kidney, they went to the doctor. The doctor gave him the clean bill of health, went home and celebrated. 9 months later, had a baby, Amaya Rose. And we got to meet Amaya. She's like 4 years old now and beautiful, yeah.
Listen, before I let you go and get Team Luke out there and raising more money at this 5K, we're at the 5K. The annual 5K. It's a big event. What would you say to folks about the Sharing Network? Because you're all in now.
Yeah, I'm definitely all in. It's such a beautiful organization. It's a little odd because in some ways I wish I never met anybody here.
Of course. Because
my son would still be alive. But fortunately, I met some of the most beautiful, just heartwarming, caring, giving people. And it's really made a big difference in my life. I thank Luke because of what he was able to do, because of that opportunity. It's channeled my life into something more positive and fulfilling that I could ever imagine. If I could have him back, that would be my decision, obviously. But again, we took a sad song and made it a little bit better by doing what we're doing.
It's helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, University Hospital, NJM Insurance Group, the New Jersey Education Association, NJ Best, New Jersey's 529 College Savings Plan, the Northward Center, PSE&G, PNC, Grow Up Great, and by Caldwell University. Promotional support provided by New Jersey Monthly and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association.
How do you create change? By cultivating hope. And we see that every day. In the eyes of our preschoolers, in the souls of the seniors in our Adult Day program, in the minds of the students at Robert Treat Academy, a national Blue Ribbon School of Excellence, in the passion of children in our Youth Leadership Development Program, in our commitment to connections at the Center for Autism, and in the heart of our community, the Northward Center, creating opportunities for equity, education, and growth.